Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
We're going to be reviewing the MUSTART TRAVELMASTER EV Charger next on Now Let's Review. All right, so you're looking for a charger for your EV. You don't want to mount it. You just want to put it in your car. It's more for a mobile charger.
If only there was a TRAVELMASTER.
This is the TRAVELMASTER. Let's see if this is good for you.
Here's why it's called the TRAVELMASTER. When you're traveling, and if you're going to be kind of out in the boonies, let's say, where there aren't a lot of EV charging dedicated spots, you're probably going to end up in some location and there's going to be some electrical plug that you're going to need to plug into. Unfortunately,
it's not the one you wanted.
It's not the one that you wanted because unfortunately NEMA decided that they would come up with a bunch of different plugs and a bunch of different stuff for 220 outlets for a whole bunch of different reasons.
Mainly amps.
Mainly amps and safety and all that boring stuff. The problem, the upshot of that is that when you arrive at your campsite or whatever, you might not have the right plug to plug into your EV charger.
Right, so this kit comes with two of the most common.
And it allows you to do this. Separate and change. Oh,
just line up the blue dots.
The blue dots. This is a idiot test, and then it clicks together quite nicely.
You see, that's what you have to do. You have to use your mind.
And now I can plug into a regular home outlet, and it can charge both 220 and 110.
Right. So it comes with a 520. Which is this one, which is kind of your regular standard North American outlet, which you should be able to find anywhere.
Yep.
But it's only 110 volts, so it's only half the voltage. Or it comes also with the 1450, which is very common for 220. It's a lot of dryer plugs and stuff like that. So this should get you through, I'd say, 80-90% of your situations. If that's not enough, if you know that your house or grandma's house doesn't have that plug, you can buy for about $50 a different one of these. They also sell the 620, the 1030, the 1430, the TT30, the 650, and the 1050. And those, again, are about $50 each.
Now, when we were looking on MUSTART's website, a lot of them were sold out. So definitely be sure to check that they are in stock before you buy this unit. Probably buy all the cords you want together.
You could get, if let's say they're sold out, or if you're not sure you're gonna need it and you don't wanna spend $50, you could get dog bone for about $25 on Amazon, and that could probably do in a pinch.
As MUSTART claims on their website though, this is an intelligent system because basically if you're plugging into, say, a 1450, that means that that outlet should be able to give you 50 amps. Now,
but hold on there, bucko.
Right.
This unit can only go up to 32 amps.
Yes,
so,
at 220 volts.
Right. So what's nice about this, it has an intelligent system. So when you plug it in, it's going to figure out very instantly how much power can be drawn safely. You're not going to have to flick switches or decide for yourself, which is true of some other ones. That's nice. You just plug it in, it's going to figure out the safe way to do it. It's also going to give you some nice things on the screen, which I kind of thought was surprising. It tells you the temperature, the operating temperature of the unit, which is nice because then you can see like, oh, this thing is overheating or it's not. These three lights here are going to tell you, red is going to tell you that it's charging, green is going to tell you that it's powered, and yellow is going to tell you if there's a fault. My brain does not work that way. I would like it if the green was telling me that I was charging because it's flashing and I thought that meant charging. So don't be confused by that. It's the opposite of what I think.
Right, I would have thought that red would be fault and yellow would be, I don't know why you'd need a yellow.
But the screen also shows some other cool things. It shows you the total kilowatt hours that you've put into the battery, which is cool. Shows you the total kilowatts, shows you the total amps, shows you the total volts. So those are all really cool things to check. And it shows you the elapsed time of charge. So it can show you that like you've been charging for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Kind of cool things.
And I would say that that's useful as a TRAVELMASTER because if you're stopping in at some random farmhouse in the middle of nowhere and you want to pay them for the electricity that you use, this is going to be able to tell you the kilowatt hours that you were plugged in at.
Exactly. If you pulled 6 kilowatt hours, you multiply that by 25 cents or whatever, and you know to give them $1.50 and you're on your way. It is well built. I like that there's a 25-foot cord for your car, and then this gives you another few feet.
Yes.
Right? Got about 3 or 4 feet right there. So you're gonna have plenty of length. When you're on the road, length is actually a good thing. Normally you hear me say that I don't like them over like 18 feet if they're gonna be at home. But when you're out on the road, you're gonna plug into some weird outlet behind a dryer and you wish that you had more footage so that you're trying to back the car up as close as you can get. This will probably give you the length that you need.
And pretty nice cable as well.
It is.
So on this end, at least, nice, flexible. I mean, that's a really good turn radius there. I want to talk about the head for a minute. If you've seen any of our other reviews, you know that I like to talk about the trigger because these things can break, but not on this one because it is made out of solid aluminum, this trigger, which means that if it gets dropped kind of upside down, hitting a piece of concrete, it might bend a little bit, but you can probably bend it back into place with a bit of force, but it's not going to snap off like I've seen on some other ones, which is a bit dangerous because then if it's snapped off, then you can pull it out while it's still giving electricity and nothing knows that it's gonna stop.
Now this is IP65 rated, so that's pretty good rating, but they do say on their website that they don't recommend this for outdoor use. That's because it's for travel. So it means you can get a little wet, but don't plan on like mounting it to your house. They don't even give you any mounting hardware because it's not meant to do that. I also want to talk about certification. You should be looking for something that's either certified by UL, Underwriters Laboratory, or ETL. Used to be Edison Testing Laboratory, now it's Intertech Testing Services. They're both pretty interchangeable. The head is ETL. That's good. I don't see any rating on the website or on the unit for the rest of it being ETL. So I don't know if they've only tested the head. I don't want to give my stamp of approval for something that hasn't been fully tested. And this is drawing a lot of current. It's just something that should be tested. So I don't want to put my stamp of approval on it. I don't know either way. I just couldn't find it that it said that it was ETL or UL other than this stamp right there.
We did plug in, we charged, we tested a little bit, but obviously we are not putting it through destructive testing. We're not trying to burn our cars down. We're just here to let you know that the one that we received works pretty darn well. I'm pretty happy with it. But of course, if you're really concerned about safety, if this is something that's going to be sitting in your house for years and years and years and years, you might want something that's UL listed.
So this will charge at 15 amps, 25 amps, and 32 amps. They won't give you like 40. If you're hoping for that kind of very fast charge on a 50 or 60 amp circuit, it won't give you that.
But keep in mind that a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y can only charge at 32 amps 220 anyway. So this is the maxed out, for a Tesla. For some of the other EVs.
Yeah, if this were for a Rivian or a Ford, I would say you probably want something a little more powerful.
But again, then you're going to start running into plugs on the walls that can't
handle it.
That are only going to give you 30 amps anyway.
So let's talk price now, because I think it's going to come down to that. This is $379 that we've seen at most of the locations that you can get it. Not a bad price, especially because I think these features right here, that's probably what's bringing the price up. These are silver plated and this is silver plated. I want to talk about silver for a second.
We're talking specifically the actual electrical connections here. It's not this shiny part on the outside.
Yeah, so silver is the most conductive metal. You might say, no, it's gold. Actually, silver is more conductive. And so silver is great to be using on the places where you're going to need the most conductivity, and it keeps the heat lower.
Is it massively important? No. I don't think so. I've never gone to an EV charger plugged in and gone like, the connectivity of the charger is too low. It never has been a problem. And the silver plating is probably gonna wear off at some point. But it is cool.
I think what you're basically paying that extra $100 for, because I think you could buy something similar to this for $100 less, are these two right here. The fact that this is an expandable system. And so the question comes down to you guys, is this something that you want? Is this a feature that you want? Because if you do, it's a really nice to have these extra ones. It makes you feel good in the car, to be honest, to have knowing like I can probably plug in anywhere and charge. But this kit only has two. So you're gonna probably wanna go get 2 or 3 more, and that's going to bring your price up by 100 or 150 bucks. What do you think, Jess? Is $379 like a good price for this kit?
I think that it really...
Oh, and let's just talk about the bag for a second.
Sure.
You do get the nice round bag. It's a good size. This is like not too big, not too small. It fits it back in quickly and easily.
I think the important thing is that it's roughly the size of my forearm, and you might be saying, just so you can use it as a Captain America shield. No, it's that way when I want to fold this up very quickly, because I'm done doing whatever we're doing, all you have to do is kind of put this around your arm, again and again and again, and then just slot it right into the bag. I like that it's round because round is what it's going to try to want to get to. So it's nice that it's just going to conform to that. This bag is nothing to write home about. I don't expect it to last, many years or anything like that. This is just something that they can send.
Right. So price, do you think we're in the right ballpark here or what?
I think that you're definitely getting an advantage by having the interchangeable system. We've seen a couple of other chargers that use interchangeable systems, say the Juiced system, which is wildly more expensive than this one. The Tesla system, which also has interchangeable heads, uses a completely different interconnection module.
On the Tesla one, for example, it's just friction, and so you could pull out.
There is a bit of a connection, but there is no positive. I have to actually pull this back for it to actually unlock. So yeah, I would say...
Which is nice. Like, let's just say you're charging all night long at grandma's house, and in the morning you got to be ready to go. You're not going to have to worry that this got disconnected. It might unplug here at the wall, but this will not get disconnected unless someone does that.
Yes.
And I think that's a nice feature, and I also like that it just plugs together really nicely. So I don't know. I think that it's not a bad price.
It's not a bad price. You can go cheaper if you wanted something. If you were just like, price is the most important thing. Okay, yeah, you can find something cheaper, but this does have a couple of nifty features that I think make it interesting.
And I'm going to reward you for watching to the end of the video because most of the other people have gone now. So we are going to give this away. And the way we're going to give this away is the way we do all of our giveaways. You're going to head on over to our Patreon on Now You Know. We'll put the link down below. And there you can support the work we do both on this channel and our Now You Know channel. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of our Patreon bonus stories and stuff. And also, you can enter to win this. We give it to our patrons because those are the people that support us. And we've given away a lot of EV chargers, and we're giving this one away too. So if you're interested, head on over to Patreon. You can see that listing and see how you can enter for it. I think it's gonna be something like, tell us why you'd like this charger, and then we'll just like pull it out of a hat. And thanks so much for supporting us. Also, thanks for your like and your subscribe and your comment down below to let us know if you like this review, what else you'd like to know, what else you'd like reviewed, because we want to know that too.
We'll see you next time on Now Let's Review.